Why he did it is the big question.
The man accused of murdering 4 family members and another teen now on his way back to LaGrange after being arrested in Mississippi. We're live at the Troup County Jail awaiting his arrival.
Plus, how seemingly harmless apps could be the window to all of your kids' personal information. We're on your side with what you need to know to protect it.
Clouds are still rolling in again, a dense layer from a live picture at Columbus Municipal Airport this hour. Temperatures are cooling now down in the upper 40s. News 3 Evening Edition starts right now.
Covering western Georgia and east Alabama, this is News 3 Evening Edition.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for trusting News 3. I'm Teresa Whitaker.
And I'm Phil Scoggins. First tonight, a developing story out of LaGrange, where we are awaiting the arrival of the man accused of murdering 4 family members and a teenager over the weekend.
The man, 26-year-old Thomas Jesse Lee, is expected to arrive at the Troup County Jail and be booked on murder charges within the next few hours.
Here are the facts as we know them so far. Lee is accused of killing his wife's parents, his 16-year-old stepdaughter, and her 18-year-old friend. The bodies were found Saturday night at his Woodstream Trail home.
Lee was arrested Monday at a bus stop in Tupelo, Mississippi, after authorities were tipped off by a local pastor that Lee was trying to hop a bus to Opelika. Lee is being extradited today and is expected to arrive at the Troup County Jail later tonight. He's set to appear before a judge for the first time tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock.
News 3's David Hurst is standing by now live in Troup County awaiting Lee's arrival. And David, what else do we know at this point?
Well, Phil, Teresa, I just spoke with the Troup County Sheriff. He tells me Lee is expected to arrive here in about an hour or an hour and a half, about 7 or 7:30. We did obtain this picture of Lee leaving a Mississippi jail this afternoon at about 3 p.m. Troup County deputies are bringing him back for booking and questioning inside the Troup County Jail. When he arrives, Sheriff Woodrup says he wants to talk to Lee so he can finally figure out a motive for this horrendous crime.
Why he did it is the big question. And that's what we're wanting to know, and that's what the family wants to know, is why.
Now, as we've reported, at least 4 of the 5 victims were shot, according to authorities. A gun was not found in the home when authorities got on the scene, nor was one found when authorities found him in Mississippi. Troup County Sheriff's Office was also looking for a green Mazda Tribute that they thought Lee might have been driving. That car ended up turning up in Tennessee. It's unknown at this time how he got from Tennessee to that bus station in Mississippi, but I'm sure we'll unveil all those details as the week goes on. We do know, though, now that Lee is going to be back here pretty soon. We'll bring you that that video in a developing story tonight on News 3 Night Watch. For now, reporting live in Troup County, David Hurst, News 3. On your side.
All right, thank you, David. Law enforcement credits the media and everyone who shared a picture of Lee in helping to find him.
In Columbus, police are trying to figure out why and how a 15-year-old was shot. Police say the victim, Christopher Jennings, was found in an open field north of Roman Drive today near St. Mary's Road. They say he was suffering from a gunshot wound and had hypothermia. Jennings was taken to the hospital where he's now listed in stable condition. Anyone with information on Jennings' whereabouts in the past 24 hours or any details on the case should call Columbus Police.
Members of a local church are continuing their services even after their church building burned last week. Pastor Juan Carlos Diaz says the congregation met today and will continue services at Fairview Baptist Church on Thursdays and Sundays. The Hispanic church on Primrose Road, called Iglesias House of Prayer, caught fire last Friday evening. No one was hurt in the incident. The cause of that fire yet to be released by fire officials. If you would like to make a donation to help the church, you can send a check or money order to Iglesias House of Prayer at P.O. Box 7731, Columbus, Georgia 31908, or you can send it through PayPal. That web address can be found on our website at WRBL.com. To the weather now, and we are seeing some rain in our forecast.
Chief Meteorologist Bob Jeswald is tracking things for us in the Weather Center.
It'll be nothing like the rain that we experienced on Sunday, so don't expect tremendous amount of measurable rainfall. And notice the clouds are out here certainly signaling there's a change coming. And it's all lifting in from the south and west coming out of the Gulf of Mexico, believe it or not. But it will certainly interact with another cold front. So if you're looking for very warm readings in the near future, not happening. Just wait until you see that 70 forecast. That will change. A live look from the Columbus Municipal Airport right now, showing you those clouds pretty dense off to the south. And another view across town, you can see the clouds here at the Columbus State Tower Cam, 49 degrees, and temperatures did manage to get in the low 50s for most of the area. But we are tracking this storm, Phil and Teresa. This system all depends upon the exact track, how much rain, and who will receive it. I have the best analysis coming up for you in just a few moments. Back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Bob. Well, you may post a lot of pictures on sites like Facebook and Instagram, but you may not realize you could be providing a lot of other information to your social media contacts. News 3's Naomi Kidd has more details on a free app that's helping parents protect their children online. She joins us now.
Teresa, it's an idea that started right here in Columbus about 10 years ago as a church security software. It's morphed into a parent-friendly application aimed at keeping kids' digital legacy protected. It's become second nature to post every life event, big or small, on social media sites.
Not everything as a parent should be a public status update.
But with each picture posted, there's a slew of information that could be used against you or your child.
I never had thought about the fact that that data was out there, that it did have dates and times and locations. I can't believe I never thought about that before. So it actually scared me when they said that.
At a luncheon this afternoon, a group of about 50 mothers learned more about a phone application that's stripping that information away from pictures. It's called KidsLink, and it's protecting your online footprint.
With KidsLink, when you use it as the home base and upload the picture to KidsLink, then push out to Facebook or Instagram, the metadata is stripped and your photo is as safe as it can be online.
The free app is geared towards parents who post pictures of their children online. It allows you to choose who you share each update and photo with, and you can decide if you want to push that information to other social media sites like Facebook or Instagram.
And it's nice to know that stalkers and other people that might use that information aren't going to be able to get it if I use it through KidsLink.
As an added safety feature, the app is invitation only, but you can visit our website at WRBL.com for a free access code. Reporting live in the studio, Naomi Kitt, WRBL News 3, on your side.
Thank you, Naomi. Veterans groups have been sounding the alarm for years about the shocking rate of suicides among those who have served our country. It's estimated about 22 service members take their own lives each day. Today, Congress approved legislation to help provide critical mental health care and screening for military members. The legislation creates a one-stop website for veterans looking for help and addresses the shortage of mental health care professionals who treat veterans. Paul Rykoff of the Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America spearheaded the effort to pass the legislation.
We know that there are going to be others, but we hope that this will be reinforcements. This will give us the means and the bullets and the cavalry to try to save lives.
Georgia Senator Johnny Isakson is the chairman of the Senate VA committee, which helped pass and push the legislation. He and Georgia Senator David Perdue were among those who voted in favor of the act. That bill now heads to the White House for President Obama's signature.
Alabama is moving forward with same-sex marriage. A federal appeals court cleared the way for the marriages to begin next week in the state. Today, a three-judge panel denied Alabama Attorney General Luther Strange's request for the stay. That means same-sex couples can marry in the state beginning February 9th. A U.S. district judge ruled last month that 2 Alabama laws banning the recognition of same-sex marriages were unconstitutional.
A new business and almost 100 jobs are on the way to Columbus. News 3's Sarah Panko found out it's not the only project in the works. Right, Sarah?
That's right, Phil. Construction, though, is underway for the new North Columbus restaurant that's set to open in June. Owner Sanjay Chowdhury says he chose to build the Wild Wing Cafe at Columbus Park Crossing because it's close to a movie theater and gives moviegoers and shoppers another late-night dining option. Chowdhury says the community and the Columbus Chamber of Commerce have been supportive. Chamber officials say while their focus is on commercial and industrial recruitment, they say those efforts have a direct impact on retailers and restaurants.
So when an H&M or a Forever 21 or whomever comes along, they know that we're really working together to make our community better, and more importantly to them, we're creating a market for their products.
Those two new retail stores, Forever 21 and H&M, are slated to open at the Peachtree Mall this year. And Wild Wing Cafe isn't the only construction happening at Columbus Park Crossing. There's also a new hotel being built right next to the Kia Autosport dealership. While chamber officials wouldn't go into details, they tell me that they are working on other projects that they hope will produce significant capital investment and job creation. Live in the studio, Sarah Panko, WRBL. News 3 on your side.
Thank you, Sarah. Last year, chamber officials say that the region saw $136 million in new investment. Many of the 1,100 jobs added were focused in the Columbus-Muskogee County area.
Coming up on Evening Edition, we now know where the new Mercedes-Benz USA headquarters is going to call home. That announcement next.
Plus, find out who's trying to make the dates on food labels less confusing for you, the consumer.
The Texas coast and the Bolivar Island area and the western Gulf of Mexico getting saturated with rain. We're going to get clipped by the system, so the latest track is coming up. Stay with us.
I don't believe you.
Good.
Mercedes-Benz USA announced today the company's new corporate headquarters will be located in the metro Atlanta city of Sandy Springs. As News 3 has reported, Mercedes-Benz officials announced in January that the car manufacturer would relocate its U.S. headquarters from New Jersey to Georgia, but a specific location wasn't clear. Officials say the company is expected to create at least 800 jobs.
We have all seen them, the dates that are stamped on basically everything at the grocery store.
An advocacy group says those dates are confusing and many consumers are tossing out good food and money because of them. Chris Van Cleve has more in tonight's Consumer Watch.
From milk to meats, salad to cereal, if it's in the grocery store, it's got a date on it. Some say use by, others are marked sell by, and some just have a date. But what do they mean?
Well, that's a good question. I don't want to eat something that's expired.
But Peter Lehner from the National Resources Defense Council says these dates are not expiration dates.
You don't need to throw it out if it's past the date on the label.
The NRDC estimates 9 out of 10 Americans are confused by the dates. A family of 4 throws out about $2,000 worth of still edible food every year.
The dates are up to the manufacturers. There's no federal standards for food safety labeling for anything in this store except infant formula.
Lehner says many foods, if stored properly, can last long after the labels say. Milk at least a week past the printed date. Eggs can still be good 3 to 5 weeks after you buy them, and many canned products last up to 5 years. The Grocery Manufacturers Association tells us the dates indicate freshness, but admits changes are needed. We are working to improve current code dating practices with the goal of creating a uniform global standard that will make it easier to interpret date labels.
You've got a sell by, you've got a use by.
Lehner says until then, consumers should use common sense.
You can open it and smell it, you can take a look at it, and for most things you'll be able to tell whether or not it's still good.
Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, New York.
Wow. That's what I do, the old smell test. It works every time.
Yeah, my mother used to do that too, but sometimes oversensitive noses could be a distraction too, you know? You're like, hey, wait a minute. We are not distracted by this though. This storm system here, we have the right tools, the right analysis to break it down for you to show you what's going on. This is it, storm in the Gulf. It seems to be more central Gulf of Mexico. So how much this rain will arrive? Have it coming up.
Now, News 3 brings you your first alert forecast.
You're watching Evening Edition. Chief Meteorologist Bob Jeswell on your side. Next 3 days are a kind of an interesting story. We start with more clouds tomorrow. We're going to start talking about some rain for a portion of the News 3 viewing area. Breezy and cool to continue for the rest of the week, but don't let that fool you. There's some pretty interesting weather coming above average by the end of the forecast period we'll be talking about. As we start out a little cooler these next couple of days, by the weekend, quite the contrary. So we'll talk about a little bit of cold Canadian air and then a whole new change coming your way just in time for the weekend. I think that's going to be kind of nice for many of you who are looking for something on the mild side. Let's take a look at those temperatures out there. We're looking anywhere from the 40s, pretty consistent. We did manage to get up to 58 today. We had a low of 28 this morning, so quite an interesting day. Did I say 58? 52. I hit 28, but I caught myself, didn't I? That's a good sign, I guess. So anyway, well, we're seeing a range from 50 to upper 40s out there as we speak. Okay, temperatures, of course, correlate with the amount of cloud cover that's in there and the lack of sunshine today. Had we had more, we did at the end of the day, which got us up to 52. But late Wednesday is what we're looking at. This energy is moving south in the central Gulf of Mexico. We're talking about before the break. So how much of this, let's get that out of the way, will be moving our way? Let's take a look at the low here. There's a little warm front lifting up. That moisture kind of clipping to our south and east. So our southeast counties seeing light to moderate rain, getting scoured out by this next cold Canadian front by Thursday morning. High pressure moves in, a little breezy, clouds are gone, and voila, here comes some sunshine here. I think you can all appreciate and enjoy. Now, those temperatures, though, will dip down to low 40s coming up after midnight. You'll see, and a pretty consistent pattern, 38 in Auburn, maybe Tuskegee, you guys will be in the upper 30s. Wherever we're south Russell County, Continent, Pittsview, a little higher in elevation. We're still in the low 40s here down in Eufaula, upper 30s from LaGrange to Manchester, Warm Springs to Hamilton, even Waverly Hall and Talbotton and Lynette Valley. And then again, closer to Phoenix City and places like Smith Station, you're talking anywhere from upper 30s, little variance here to about 40 degrees. Mostly cloudy, could still be some spotty frost, but not like this morning. So we're looking at the overnight low about 34 degrees. And again, that cloud cover will determine that. Calm winds. Tomorrow the winds kind of pick up from the south, that moisture lifting in, late afternoon rain, mainly south and east of Columbus, anywhere there. Other than that, some of you may just get a little sprinkle. That's about it. Breezy coming up on Thursday, cooler 54, sub-freezing readings approaching Friday morning with 53 and more sunshine here. And then we ramp up maybe a slight chance of a shower or two. Doesn't mean it's a spoiler Sunday and Monday, but you can see a little more cloud cover, but temperatures are mild as a result there. Kind of nice. What's not nice is whenever we have severe weather, but the first alert weather team always has you covered, so that is good. And tornado safety coming up at 11:10 Central. We're going to talk more about that. And tomorrow, Phil and Teresa, you may hear an alarm sounded. We're talking about the sirens from Alabama, too. So listen closely for Severe Weather Awareness Week. That is just a test.
All right, Bob. Thanks a lot. Well, Sports Director Jonathan Husky joins us now. Signing day just hours away.
Georgia picked up another local commitment just last night.
Yeah, we told you about it last night. Yep. Now wait till you hear the story about how Tay Crowder flipped to UGA. That's a good one. Plus, the Falcons finally have their new head man. The first comment from Dan Quinn, Atlanta head coach, next at the Acura of Columbus Sports Desk right here on News 3.
Time for News 3 Sports.
The Falcons made the announcement yesterday and made it public today. Welcome to the Acura of Columbus Sports Desk. Dan Quinn is now officially, totally, 100% signed, sealed, and delivered the Falcons' new head coach. Quinn was introduced in the news conference this afternoon. He now becomes one of just 3 current NFL head coaches with no prior head coaching experience. He says he knew right away Atlanta was where he wanted to be.
I was fortunate I got a chance to talk to a number of clubs, and it was really clear. In fact, Stacey asked me the question, well, if they all worked out, what would you do? And it was really clear. I told her that night, this is the spot I'd like to be.
Of note, Quinn, not general manager Thomas Dimitroff, will have final say over the team's 53-man roster. In worse Falcons news, owner Arthur Blank has admitted wrongdoing and said the team did, in fact, pump fake crowd noise into the Georgia Dome. He told the Associated Press, quote, "I think what we've done in 2013 and 2014 was wrong. Anything that affects the competitive balance and fairness on the field we're opposed to as a league, as a club, and as an owner. It's obviously embarrassing, but beyond embarrassing, it doesn't represent our culture and what we're about," end quote. We are now just hours away from National Signing Day, and by the looks of it, it could be one of the crazier ones in years. Last night, Harris County running back Tay Crowder flipped from Georgia Southern to the University of Georgia. He told the Atlanta Journal-Constitution he spoke with Mark Richt and his staff over the phone and called it truly unexpected. Crowder had committed right on the spot and has never even set foot on Georgia's campus. Crowder's rated as a 2 or 3 star, depending on the service. The Hardaway Hawks got underway early with a pair of baseball signings today. Shortstop/pitcher Marcel Bird and outfielder-catcher Blake Rupp both signed to play at Andrew College, a junior college in Cuthbert, Georgia. For both, the opportunity to play with a teammate made this even more special.
It feels good because I know I have somebody that can keep me in check, make sure I don't get fooled around and get caught up in the wrong things or whatever, and I know I have to do the same thing for him.
It's an honor. Like, Marcel is a really good teammate. and I like him like being with me through my high school career.
The Hawks open the season February 17th at home against Crisp County. AISA State Hoops, Lakeside boys facing Lowndes in the Elite Eight. The Chiefs controlled this thing from the tip. Here, Junior McClendon knocks down the mid-range jumper to extend the lead. Later, though, in this one, Will Gibson puts it away. The steal and the layup through the contact. Look at that. Lakeside wins 58-35. They'll face Chambers, 56-36 winners over Sumter in the Final Four. And on the girls' side, Miss 3000 Casey Grant and the Chiefs dispatch Sumter 85-31. They'll face Lowndes in the Final Four a week from tomorrow. Speaking of tomorrow, it is National Signing Day, and we got you covered all over the place. We're going to be in Harris County, going to be at Carver, Auburn, Opelika, everywhere. We got you covered. This is the place to be.
Going to be a lot of happy parents and grandparents and coaches and
hopefully a lot of happy fans too.
Let's hope so. Thank you, Jonathan. Coming right back.
Lovin' on News 3 Night Watch.
A reminder, Severe Weather Awareness Week.
Oh yes, and so important that we understand what to do, and especially if there is a tornado, and of course we've been seeing those every year. So what year goes by that we don't have one? It could be anybody, anytime. So we always have to keep that in mind, especially this transition of air masses this time of year. Tornado safety is what we're talking about tonight. And with this, whenever there is a tornado warning, that means it's imminent. It's actually occurring. If it's a watch, it means it's favorable, or conditions are favorable for it. But what you can do is get under a sturdy table, interior side, and leave enough walls between you and the outside. Never in a mobile home.
All right, Bob, thanks a lot.
That's going to do it for Evening Edition.
Have a safe and pleasant evening, everyone.
Good night.
Take a deep breath in and exhale. And a gentle wave-like motion. Liberate your spine. Good. And reach, toes blossoming.
Not that great at yoga.
Yeah, but when I slipped a disc, he paid my claim in just 4 days.
4 days?
Yep.
See why speed matters at Aflac.com.
Being hurt in a car wreck can be serious. Being hurt in a wreck caused by a tractor